Hi. My question is, I mean, anybody can answer it, but I'm specifically asking Mr. Lynn. I'm an instructor at Eastern Gateway Community College, and I'm glad two of my students came out. Oh, hi. Yeah, well, three. And I have about 32 students between the two classes. And when I told my students initially about this event and asking them if they know about Occupy Wall Street, Tea Party, and what's going on, there was a blank look for the most part, not everybody, and specifically with my students of color. So thinking about what Mr. Lynn, what you went through as far as melding those two groups together, African American community and the white community, I'm trying to figure out why is there such a disconnect, at least from my own personal experience, from saying, okay, this is what's going on, you should care, because it just seems like it's not about me. I mean, back in the 60s and before in Jim Crow, there were signs that said blacks here, whites here. It was very obvious you were getting bitten by dogs. So you knew it was about you because when the hoes got turned on you because you were African American. But now it's a little more covert. I mean, some things are starting to come back. There was a conservative pastor that said we need to go back to the fields to help teach work ethic. So we are starting to see some more blatant things. But in general, I'm not sure if my community, the African American community, specifically the younger community, is aware exactly how much these issues are impacting them as a group.
Well, that's a terrific question. Close to being the $64 question, I think. And let me kind of give some fragmentary answers. If I had the complete answer, I don't know if I'd be here tonight. We should think of two situations where black people and white people have gotten it together since the 60s in the South. And one of them, from what I read, I wasn't there, was Vietnam. Interesting description of what soldiers began to feel as that war went on. You know, what are we doing here? We don't understand the purpose. I don't think I'm going out on patrol tonight. You go, Lieutenant. I'm going to stay here. Apparently, soldiers got together in cultural groups that they felt comfortable with. That is to say, not everybody had the same music. They may have smoked the same dope, but in other ways, the cultures were different. And so people first came together with the people that they were comfortable with. Black soldiers, for example, took shoelaces from their boots, tied black shoelaces around their arms, had their own hand grip when they met each other. But the point is that we shouldn't let that stand in our way. That's natural. When there was a question of acting together against people who were trying to keep this crazy war going, they did it. Now, what I do have first-hand experience with, that my wife and I have observed, is in prisons, particularly around town, where, as I said earlier, you subject black and white people to the same degree of repression, and they will come together. They may first meet with black gangster disciples, Muslims, Aryan brothers. They may first meet in groups with which they feel most comfortable, but when it comes to our experience, and get together. The question you asked about your students, I think we need to begin, as someone said earlier, by talking together and trying to discover whether, despite our differences, in music, for example, there are problems that we have together that we want to do something about. We're not going to discover that until we talk to each other. Certainly, any of you African Americans are welcome at Occupy Youngstown meetings. They occur Thursday evenings, Wednesday evenings, Saturday noontime. There's several people in the room who'd be happy to tell you more, but also, why not invite one of these strangers from Occupy Youngstown? Let them come to your class, talk to the students, see if, well, here they are. See if people have things in common. Because as was said earlier, after you talk together, after you confront your brother or sister in a living room in a human way, then it becomes possible, well, why don't we go to that meeting together or carry those signs together or do something about it?